restless dreams, I see that town, Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday, but you never did. Well, I'm alone there now, in our special place, waiting for you.
Silent Hill 2, a survival/psychological horror game that, for me and probably for many others, is considered one of the shining examples of storytelling that can be found in a video game. But not only is there a well-crafted story, there is also a very deep yet rewarding game to play through as well. Now, this review may be a little bit longer than I intend it to be, and with that I apologise, but with that said, I hope you enjoy my video. Our story begins with James Sunderland, this guy right here, and he sure has a story to tell. His wife, who's been dead for 3 years now, has somehow sent him a letter calling him back to the town of Silent Hill, where in the past James and his wife Mary have spent some time together in, and with that he decides to venture into the dark town he once knew in hope of finding the truth behind the letter. Now, on the surface, the story sounds somewhat simple, but this is far from the truth, as Silent Hill 2 isn't the type of game that just offers clear explanations on a silver plate. No. With quite a few things, it's kind of up to the player to fill in the blanks or discover and put together what's going on or what's already happened. Another aspect of the story that I know many people will and do appreciate is the fact that many of the characters you meet while on your path are very, very interesting, and they do develop over the course of the game in a well done manner. Being able to explore how these characters are presented and how Silent Hill affects them is very exciting to see, because it allows you to build this very dark yet kind of real world in your head with all these characters, because each of them is going through very different things when in Silent Hill. Not only do you have an engaging story with great characters, but the game also offers 6 endings, and with that has its own ending system that tracks how and what you do in the game, which obviously ties to gameplay. So if you act a little bit crazy while playing, charging at enemies or not really taking care of your health, then you may get an ending that differs if you were to perhaps be a little bit more careful when playing. So yeah, the game is actually watching you, which in itself is kind of creepy. All in all, if you was to buy Silent Hill 2, then I can near enough guarantee that you will enjoy the story that is offered. So expect something sophisticated yet confusing, but also very interesting. Next up is graphics, and you may be surprised to know that this game was released in the year of 2001, which to me is kind of shocking since the game still looks very good. The whole game screams repulsive, dark, damp yet realistic environments, and sometimes not so realistic environments, and that environmental theme can't be more apparent in the first room you start in, which is this bathroom. I mean, look at it, it's disgusting and kind of impressive at the same time, but disgusting bathrooms aside, the game's visuals have truly stood the test of time, and even though I am playing on the PC version, the same can be said for the console equivalents. Other notes of visual interest are of course the fog, which near enough surrounds you during the entire game when outside and are a Silent Hill staple. Human and monster models also look good despite the game's old age, and Silent Hill is also packed with CG and in-game cutscenes that truthfully aren't as good as I remember them being, but they still do a good job of conveying what they want to for the player. So overall, the game still looks brilliant and maybe even better than certain games you see today. Next is gameplay, and what's great about Silent Hill 2 is that this truly is a game that has to be played in the dark. If you want that full experience, then make sure to do so, and if you're gonna do it, then make sure to put a few hours aside, because your first run may take you around 8 or so hours to do, and if you're super good then it may even take you 1 hour, but that's only if you really know the game back to front. For gameplay itself though, it's your kind of standard third-person perspective affair. You got tank controls that, to be honest, isn't much of a surprise, but they do handle better than what you would find in earlier Resident Evils, for example, or at the very least I think so. And you are able to defend yourself during the game. You can use the weapons that you find in the environment, such as your handgun, you got your wooden plank, and even a chainsaw, and a few other things as well. There are also other items scattered about, such as health pickups, memos that offer interesting bits of information, and as usual you have puzzles to solve that break up the exploring and fighting aspect of the game. Now, something that only a few of my friends get annoyed about and why they haven't touched the game is that if you want to change your weapon or use a health item, you do have to pause the game and enter your inventory, which yes, breaks up gameplay a little bit, but for me is hardly an issue. And just as a reminder, this is a survival game, so make sure to keep an eye on ammo and other important items, as these can become a bit scarce when playing on higher difficulties. Coming to an end now of this little review, which to be honest I thought was going to be a lot longer, but I guess not. So Silent Hill 2 overall is a great game. I can't stress that enough, and even though the gameplay and clips I've shown may not suggest that to you, it's because I am purposely showing earlier segments of the game so that nothing is spoiled here, because there are tons of standout moments to be found, and I can't end this review without at least mentioning the music and sound design, which is just next level stuff. Honestly, you'll be hearing things that will just constantly make you keep an eye out or jump out because you'll have no clue where it's coming from. Also, it's way more fun the second time through since you can pick up on a lot of cool things you may have missed out on or not noticed on your first run. But overall, if you're a fan of horror games, then you kinda owe it to yourself to at least play this, because once you have, it's certainly worth a purchase. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you have any suggestions for games for me to check out, then please do tell me, but other than that, have a good one and I'll catch you next time.